Hello, back again to do another unboxing and review. Today we're going to be looking at a personal hygiene product coming from the company Dove, namely their kind of sub-brand Men+Care, which is obviously focused towards the guys. And this seems to be yet another tier on that because there's an ultimate thrown here on the bottom. So, okay. So what is this particular item? It's a refillable deodorant. So these little deodorant cartridges or whatever are refillable, so you get new ones when you need them. And the case you reuse, and you're going to want to reuse it and keep it because it's made of stainless steel. And it does look pretty classy. I haven't even opened it up, but so far it looks good. So apparently if you want to have something that looks a little more classy than something like this, I guess this is where you head. Alright, so let's go ahead and talk about pricing right up front because some people want to know right away, how much am I looking at? Alright, as far as cost. So at the time of me purchasing this whole kit, which is like the starter kit, it comes with one of the deodorant cartridges and then of course the case. That is $15, and you can obviously get refill packages, and in a refill package you'll get 2 of the cartridges, and that is $10. So apparently this little guy here is 5 and the case is 10 if you do the math, right? Okay, there are 2 different scents. There's the blue one, which I have here, which is apparently Clean Touch, and then there's also a green one. I don't recall what the scent for the green is. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look around the packaging and see what it has. Alright, so here we have the front of the box. Kind of what we already talked about. So 48-hour protection, so you can skip a day. I think that's another brand had that as part of their slogan. So effective you could skip a day, so I think that's kind of what they're going with that. And then 0% aluminum. Alright, side of the box. QR code there. Some little info icons. Alright, if you're concerned about cruelty to animals, that'll make you happy there. And then there you go, talking about what's that, and then the back. Alright, and then just the bottom, okay, oh, and the top. Alright, so overall impressions of the packaging is actually pretty good. So first of all, what I like is, I'll start off by the shape of the box. It's kind of the slim, tall, kind of neat packaging, which I think works well with the item they're selling, because after all, this is kind of supposed to look kind of upscale and neat and kind of clean, so that goes with it. Next, let's talk about the color. This gray, I like it, but it's also become part of Dove Men+Care's, their color, their brand. So this silver is kind of shared among a lot of different of their items, but it works well here, especially since we're selling something that is stainless steel. So you can see it all kind of works together well. Gray with silver, excellent. Also, I do like the color they use. They kind of keep it focused on the item. So you could have done all kinds of blue splashes all over, but they kind of keep it just limited to here, and what they're trying to highlight here, the 0% aluminum. So kind of keep it sparing the color for where it's important. I think they did a good job there. The information on the box is good, and the box, the way it opens is kind of neat. If you didn't notice it, you open it here, and I assume this whole lid flips up. Again, a little more stylish than just having open the end and shaking it out, right? And then what other thing? Oh yeah, I noticed it does have these little fourth here. And of course, this is when you fold the box, and then it helps keep the box together. They didn't flatten these out, which would have made it look a little bit neater, but I don't think it detracts too much, so I'll let that slide. So overall, I like the packaging. All right, so let's get to the unboxing here. Open it up. All right, so we have some. Let's zoom in on that. Alright, so laid out in the bed of this box, we have the item broken down to its component parts. There's the lid with the Dove logo being reflective. Cool. Then the deodorant cartridge, which seems to have like a little protective capsule. We'll look at that in a bit. And then, of course, the base, which is all reflective. Okay, we'll go take these out. Alright, so I got out the components. They were all held in place by a cardboard spacer, which you saw. But anyway, here they are out of the packaging. Both the lid and the base there, I did the super advanced technique of seeing if they're metal by holding them up to my cheek. And yes, they're both cold, so that's a good sign. Alright, now this on the lid, let's talk about it. This here, there's some kind of coating over the metal. It is very smooth on the outside, but you can feel there is, like I said, there is something laid over the metal, but it is very smooth. And then on the inside, it's the same color, but it is way more grippy on the inside. So, like, I'm trying to show you that I can't even slide my finger on the inside by just doing that, but here, no problem. So, all right, now move in again. Yeah, the Dove logo is reflective. Okay, so now let's move to the actual deodorant cartridge. You can see they've encased it in this nifty little capsule. So, and it has a little lid to pry it open, or a little lip to pry it open. So, cool on there. And then here is the base. You can see the locking interface there, and of course the metal on the side, which is nice. And I will go ahead and put it all together and give you a weight of the whole thing, and I'll just put that right there. Okay. Alright, so let's open up the actual deodorant part. Okay. Looks like I might even be able to keep this little container it comes in, but alright, so we have, I don't know, is that like a lot code probably? Alright, let's go ahead and get it out. There we go. Alright, so I just grabbed these things here and with my fingernails and pulled it out. Alright, yeah. Should have followed the directions, but it worked well anyway. But yeah, you use the, if you read this, you don't take off the lid. You first put it onto the base and then take off the lid. So using the base as your hold point. So, but anyways, it still worked. Almost cleanly, but I did get a little gouge on there. But you know what? That works out well because now you can kind of see what it looks like. Let me zoom in. So there you are. Kind of gives you an idea. We'll take a little bit of it off. There we go. So, yeah. Alright, so let's go ahead. I'm going to give it the smell test. Okay, so it has a kind of a high pitch smell, and yeah, I know you might say high pitch is for sound, but you get the idea. What I mean by that is when you smell it, it's not a deep smell like a kind of a smoky musk. It's more of a citrusy kind of, it gives you a tingle in your nose when you smell it. It's not trying to be like pine tree or anything like that. This is definitely a more synthetic smell. And I would say it smells a lot like, kind of like a cologne, like something from like Kenneth Cole or something. Alright, so there it is put together. Okay, and then as far as closing it, it does snap into place. Makes it secure. And just to give you a size perspective, I'll put this other more normal deodorant container next to it. There you go. Alright, I've had the chance now to test this product. I did it on 2 separate occasions, one day right after the other, and I'm going to tell you how I ran the test. So, to start off with, I need to be clean, right? So I went ahead and bathed using this product here. This is Dove's Sensitive Skin Hypoallergenic Body Wash. The reason I chose this particular body wash is because it doesn't have really any scent. Hence the whole hypoallergenic, right? Okay. So without all the dyes and perfumes and whatnot, there will be no odor to interfere with the scent or fragrance coming from what we're testing, which is of course that. Alright, so now after that, the next day, so yes, showered at night, Went out, and I had to really put this through its paces, so that means I have to get sweaty. So I did just that, and let me tell you, I got sweaty, okay? So what I decided to do is I put this is just a white t-shirt. This is what you'd wear like under your dress shirt or whatever when you go to work. So the idea was that all that sweat would be held real close to, again, where this has been applied. And this shirt, well, not this particular one. This one's clean because I'm not going to show my dirty laundry on the internet. But anyway, it was the same shirt like this. When I took it off and I dropped this on the ground, it made up. That's how wet it was. And I kid you not, it was saturated. Okay, so now, but the reason for that is I wanted to see if this could really hold up. And it worked. Did the whole very scientific armpit sniff check, and yeah, I didn't smell any body odor coming from there, and I could even detect some slight fragrance still in effect from this. So it worked. Now the second run was the same thing as the first. Again, bathed the night before, did the whole process all over again, and yes, same result. I didn't smell any body odor from underneath my armpit. Now, I am smelling myself, so you could argue that we don't detect our own odors as much as someone else might if they were. But again, I wasn't going to have anyone sniff my armpits, and again, I still think if there was some, because again, due to how sweaty I got, I would be able to detect something. So I would say since I didn't detect anything, I'm pretty confident in that this works. Okay. All right, so let's go over the pros and cons, or the pluses and minuses. We'll start with the pros. That would all come down to the look and feel. Now, when I say feel, I don't so much mean about how when you put it on, because, yeah, it feels like you're putting on deodorant, but rather the feel of, well, what you're seeing here, the unit itself. The combination of its heft, which we covered earlier, the weight, and these very nicely rounded corners, it's just actually kind of fun to hold in your hand. And I've also been in doing this kind of as a fidget. It feels nice. So, yes. Now, let's talk about the look. You've obviously been seeing this throughout the video, so you know how it looks. But it looks even more impressive when you actually put it in, like, your cabinet with, like, for example, your shaving supplies. I have some of the razors, the nice razors with like the 5+ blades and whatnot, and they also have this kind of metal motif going on, so this matches with that very well. Also, just as a quick, this is out of one of my luggage, my Samsonite luggages. It has these little removable compartments, and so I've removed it. You can put in whatever, usually like a shaving kit or just toiletries as they're called. So I'm just going to show you how nice this looks in this particular. Now, you might not have this particular pouch, but I think you'll get the idea. All right, now to the cons. The first I was going to talk about is the size. Now, yes, you could say this small size is a plus, and in some cases it is. However, in others, it's also a con, and that's because when you're actually wanting to use this, you take off the top, obviously, and now you're going to go ahead and stick this in your armpit. Now, your armpit, if you have any, bulk up there, maybe you work out or whatnot, this whole part's just going to disappear in your armpit, and you're almost feel like you're having to put your thumb in your armpit, because, of course, that's how you're holding this. So, it's not nearly as easy as something like this where you can just grab here and then have all this extending. So it's just easier to go apply this because you have so much more reach. Okay, the other is over here. Now I have to get close to show you this. All right. So as you know from earlier, it attaches in the middle with kind of a twist-on type deal, right? But the edges, I'm trying to show. The edges, they don't have really anything securing them. So, here you can see it. It kind of wobbles a little bit. And, yeah, it's not coming up on camera very much. You'll have to kind of take my word for it. But it wobbles ever so slightly from side to side because, again, it's only connected in the middle. And that's not a deal breaker by any means. But in contrast with how sturdy the bottom feels because of the weight, having this top portion kind of rock side to side, just it stands out more because this is so robust, and this is kind of floppity on top. Not a whole bunch, but it is a little, and it's even more noticeable. So That's just, I don't know, minor, but it's still, it doesn't feel as high quality as the rest of this item is. All right. All right, and the last gripe is, well, it's just deodorant. At the time of me filming this, the only options are deodorant, not deodorant plus antiperspirant. Something that you would get something like this, for example. So, in case you're not familiar, antiperspirants, as the name suggests, it stops you from sweating. So that further cuts down on the potential for body odor because you just don't have as much sweating going on down there. All right. So if they implement that later, maybe that would be a definite plus. But as of now, it's not an option. All right, in conclusion, would I recommend this item? It's going to be a yes/no. On the yes side, it's all the aesthetics. It looks nice. It feels nice in the hand. Have a whole bunch of this stuff in your shaving cabinet or wherever you keep your toiletries. And your girlfriend will probably be impressed when she comes over. Ooh, even his deodorant is all slick and has metal and modern guy. All right, on the no side, it's all the practicals. The cost, it's not a cost-saving venture. I'll tell you that right now. Each one of these costing $5. Keep in mind that now you have to at least buy 2 of them at a time, so therefore you just doled out $10 for deodorant. Can you find more deodorant for $10 from another brand? Probably. You might even be able to find some deodorant that might have a little more features to it, like, example, the antiperspirant, which this, as of now, does not have. So you're not saving money. The other thing is, although the small size is great for like packing and travel, it also kind of becomes a handicap when you just want to quickly reach in your gym bag, grab out a deodorant, and slap it on. Here you got to find it and pull out the cap and then pinch it and then put it in your armpit. It's just not as ergonomic. All right? So here we just have another classic example. You're either going to go for the looks or you're going to go for the practicality. So you pick which is more important, I guess.